How to create an invoice for a contract on Don't Travel Empty's Coach Records module. When you're adding an invoice for a contract, you need to go to Manage, and from the drop down bar click on the Sales Ledger option. From here you go to Add a New Invoice, and again, once you've on this page, which is the Create a New Invoice page, you need to start typing the name of the customer for whom the contract is going to be invoiced for. Once you've chosen them from the drop down bar, their details appear, and all of the jobs that are displayed or confirmed in the system for this particular customer are now displayed before you. Now, if you remember, or if you've already watched a tutorial on how to invoice private hires, you'll know that if the job has got one box to the left, then it is a private hire job, and if the job has two boxes to the left, then it is a contract. Now, every single day of a contract is displayed. So if you have lots and lots of contracts and there's been lots of days in the month and you want to add, say, 10 contracts for the entire month, what you don't want to have to do is click on every single job hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times to add them all to the contract. So in order to make your life easier, all you need to do is go to the start date, click on it, and then choose the start day of the month that you wish to invoice for and the finish date of the month that you wish to invoice for, and click update. Now, every single job that is in the system, both private hires and contracts, will now be filtered. All other jobs, whilst they're still in the system, have been taken away from this particular invoice that we're creating, so you can no longer see them. Now, if you hover over the right-hand side of the button, your pop-up window says Add all displayed jobs in this contract to invoice. And if you click that, then it adds all of the jobs for that particular contract for the periods that we've already chosen, the 1st to the 31st, into the invoice. And you can see at the bottom we have a grand total there of £3,500. Now, as we scroll down, you can then see the next contract, and if you wish to add every single day of that contract to the invoice as well for the date period that we've chosen, it will add that to the grand total as well, and so on and so forth until you have added all of the contracts to the particular invoice. So, you know, you can see that it's very quick, very simple, and potentially saves you an enormous amount of time. We'll just do one more, and that's added that to the contract as well, £14,350. If there are any additional charges, some councils are now paying the bus service operators grant. You can add that in here, and then at the very end you've got your invoice summary. The invoice date will be the date that the invoice has been produced on. You can retrospectively click on here and produce an invoice from the past if you've missed the date, or you can go forward in time if you're doing an invoice if you're going on holiday. Purchase order number, some councils, some customers like it. Payment terms, for the councils it may be 14 days, which means that the payment date is going to be due somewhere around about the 18th. Notes you can place in there, and then you save it, and that invoice for that particular customer has now been produced, invoice number 1093, and you can see as you scroll down that we've got a grand total of £14,350, and you can see all of the jobs that have been invoiced on that particular all the jobs from the contract that have been invoiced on that invoice. So it doesn't appear like that on the invoice. It will just have 20 days at £1.75, contract number BE260, 20 days at 175, and then the grand totals. And that is it, really. Okay, quite simple, quite straightforward, and nice and succinct.